Why are you on my back? I haven't bent over because this one's on my back. Please get off my back. Ah, God, she has claws. Please get off my back. This is very hard for me. There we go. Thank God. Welcome back to my vloggy series. Wow, an interesting opening. So today has been an interesting day. I worked on the canal. I'll just flash up a clip. I thought you might find this bit interesting, seeing as we're in the area. This lock, Rhodes lock, is probably one of the most intact locks on the canal. There you go. But obviously those got loaded separately, so nothing interesting there. And I went to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was incredible. It was amazing. Really stylish. Really good story. That after credit scene. Whoa, I don't want to spoil. Go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it. It's amazing. It's well worth going seeing it. His throat's flared up again. I'm going to go to the doctor Monday because this sore throat, I'm getting sick of it because it won't go away. There's a kitten in here somewhere. Yeah. I didn't end off the last one very well. In fact, at all properly, so I'll have filmed a little scene to end that off this week because, yeah, getting back into it. Yeah. So on with this week. This is going to be my last week in uni. I do my job training this week. And, yeah. Lots of good stuff planned. But I'm very tired because I was working on the canal. Hello. Kitten is here. Come here. There. I'm very tired though, so I am going to sleep. And we'll see you all tomorrow for more canal work apparently. Day 2. I'm back from the canal again once again. I was working, so no point in filming. It's very dark in here. The night vision on this camera. Oh, there's that light switch. There we go. So, yeah, been working at the canal and I'm very tired. Not much else to say because obviously canal work goes in a separate video, so there isn't much interesting going on. Tomorrow I need to rebuild the interior of my car properly, take it back to Manchester. I need to go to the doctors because this sore throat won't go away. This is not a flattering angle for me, is it? No. How about that? Now that I've got my car back, as the camera is in it, very poorly framed shot because it's so bloody low, I can start putting the stuff that lives in my car back in my car, such as the starting handle. Don't get those on your Vauxhall Corsa in 2003. And leaded fuel. Yeah, some of these things really did deserve to die out. And a jack, and a light, and a ratchet set. And a really soggy towel. Okay, maybe not the soggy towel. But you get the idea. I carry a lot of rubbish in my car. Due to this car being a 52-year-old car, there's a lot of things that I have to do which nobody else has to do, frankly. Apart from the mandatory flat hat, of course. I have to have stuff like a steering lock, and the car leaks water like a sieve, so I'm constantly carrying dehumidifiers in it. I also have about 1 billion keys, because the locks on the boot, the ignition, the doors, and the fuel cap are all different. And, of course, I don't actually have a radio, so I use this portable speaker to listen to some absolute banging tunes. That is the saddest thing I've ever said, because my taste in music is deplorable. I have had to take some modern liberties though. These seats, these are not the originals. The originals are in the house, as you might have seen last week. These ones are out of a Ford Street Car, and they're actually leather. How lovely. My back doesn't agree with the original classic seats, and also having headrest is nice if I ever get shunted from behind. The originals don't have them, so if I get shunted from behind, there's a good chance I might snap my neck. There are also other issues to driving this car. The enormous steering wheel, which you can't see because framing the camera in this tiny car is very difficult, and that's my pull toggle, and the manually wound windows, which as you can see are completely misted up. And of course I am one of the only people who uses the glove compartment for its intended job. There's no power steering on this, and if I'm moving slowly I could do with all the grip I could get, frankly. It feels nice to be back in my car. I have missed it, but you might not be able to see on camera. The main problem with this car is the fact that you can see my breath. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. The heater in this car is abysmal. It doesn't... No, it doesn't do anything. So if I want to use this car, I have to start the engine up, turn the heater on, go inside for a coffee for 10 minutes, come back in and it might have just started to warm up. That is the biggest problem because I'm driving in winter. You can see how misted up my windows are. That's what the dehumidifiers are for. Feels good though to be back in this car. I've missed it. Time for some super shaky camera action as I show you the controls of this car, which are frankly lacking. As you can see, this is my dashboard. I only have one dial. There's nothing here. It's a glove box. I have one dial. It's the speedometer. And it's wrong. So it's just a guide. And the fuel gauge, which is highly accurate, and I'm happy for that. I have this slot. Now, if I turn the ignition on, because you may notice there's no key on the steering column. No, it's right here in the middle. I can turn it on. That's my wipers, which will just stop if I just... Yeah, so you got to time it if you want them to sit right. That, if I can pump it properly, the non-return valve and it's given up, that is actually the manual pump for the screen wash. There you go, let's see if it'll go. It's a brand new one, it's the stiffest thing ever, and it's there you go. Oop, oop. There you go. There, that's the lights. That is parking beams, main beams. I'm going to turn that off, otherwise I'll blow up the coil. That is the choke. It's a manually choked car. I have to fiddle with that as I'm driving along. Got the horn. It's upside down because the horn press button doesn't sit in properly. I've got obviously the tiniest acceleration pedal you'll ever see. Ignore this mess, it is filthy. Brakes, not power assisted of course, and clutch, also not power assisted. You might think the gears are can't be any different, but you'd be wrong because it's a 4-speed box with the largest amount of play you'll ever see. If I wanted to go to first gear, so we're in Haywood right now, so I want to go up to Berry to go into first. I want to go down into, I want to say Stockport into second. To third, I want to go up into Rosendale. Fourth, which is all the way down in South Manchester. And in reverse, I'm going to go all the way down. I said all the way down to London. There we go. It actually sits on my driver's seat. And it has so much play. Look at the amount of play. That's in first. Classic Morris Minor. And this is the aforementioned useless heater, which is either on or off. You can't change the temperature, and it's either in the cabin through this one tiny vent, or through the screen. It's permanently on screen, because it doesn't matter, because it blows out of both anyway, because it's useless. And that's literally it. Oh yeah, and the indicator stalk, which is not self-cancelling, and lights up. That's it. That's all I've got. It's fantastic. One of the things I need to put back are these door cards. These were taken off to do the welding. I stripped out the whole rear interior and found out it was just in appalling condition. This is actually the good door card. It's rotten. These are going to have to go eventually. But they do the purpose of covering up the metalwork and giving the person an armrest. So they're staying for now, but they are just... they're shocking. Now the bit here I'm not covering up on purpose. The same on the other side, because these need a layer of foam over them and a layer of vinyl over that. The whole reason that they rusted out in the first place was because the foam sucked in moisture and just sat it on the metalwork. And I don't want that again, so I'm just going to have to deal with not having them. Which is a bit of a shame, because this car had a complete original interior when I started, and unfortunately said complete original interior is also awful. There's no other nicer way of putting it. It was just terrible. So I'm going to have to screw all of these back in with these nasty old screws. I do plan on restoring this car eventually, so when that happens, new door cards. Well, new interior cards anyway. The door cards are pretty good. They'll clean up. I haven't cleaned them up though because I'm lazy. I've given up trying to scrub every part of this car, because whenever it goes into a workshop or anything, it just gets coated in a layer of grime. Bit of a shame, but you know, what can you do? I need to put these back on, and then put my carpets back in, and my interior is done for now. And with that, the interior is now complete. Door cards are in, mostly secure. There's no parcel shelf behind me. That was missing when I got the car. I actually do have what's left of it. It had rotted because the rear windscreen leaks. Side cards are in. Door cards are in. I'm going to put carpets in. This Christmas I'm going to do some cleaning to this under seal and definitely remove all of this stuff from this. As you can see, it knocks off, but I can't be bothered at the moment. But yeah, the car is back together again and usable, and I'm happy. I now just need to put everything that lives in it back in it and start packing up my stuff to go back to my flat, because I'm at my parents', so get that done. And the day is done. I'm back at my flat, as you can tell. Don't know if you can tell, but I am back at my flat. And my car is here, which is good, and it's all back together. But it's late and I do need to sleep, and I need to fix my indicator tomorrow because it's being a bit funny. Probably something to do with the contacts, but anyway, time for me to get some rest. It's Tuesday today, so gonna have a crack at seeing if I can get my indicator to work. I actually only found out today that now this is funny because I didn't know about this, but there is actually a self-cancelling part to the indicator. I had no idea about this because mine don't self-cancel. And I always know this because every other person I know or have met with a Morris Minor, they don't self-cancel either. Apparently there is actually a way to make them self-cancel. It just always breaks, so yeah, that's funny. But I'm going to have a crack at seeing if I can get them to work because I kind of need them to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something is terribly wrong. Well, car's dead. Let's start. I think the battery froze last night and just ran out of juice. The battery is a bit old in this car, so I reckon that's what's killed it. I only wanted to fix an electrical issue, but I thought, hey, if I'm testing an electrical issue, I might as well start the car to charge the battery a little bit, just to be on the safe side, because it's winter. Nope. It drained overnight, and I don't know why. I think the battery might have just finally given up the ghost. It is an old battery, you do have to replace car batteries. I've been putting it off, serves me right really. I can't hand crank the car either because it's so heavy, and I had to move the radiator out of the way to hand crank it, and no. Trying to get it started might do more damage. Ugh. I was having a good day, and I'm slumped again. I was having a really good week. Only took till Tuesday. I appreciate that me getting a classic car was a risk. I know that. I've accepted that. But it still does suck when something goes wrong. It's my only car. The big thing with this car has always been it's reliable. You know, it's a reliable car. It starts every time. I've never had it not start. And that really sucks. It really does. And I do appreciate that a lot of my friends, they banter about my car, take the mickey. Not when something goes wrong and then you get told, you know, why the fuck did you buy that car? Stuff like that. It does hurt. Yeah. So I'm a bit mad sad. There's nothing I can do. I haven't got any jump leads. I tried to crank it over manually and it smacked back into my shoulder. That wasn't fun. I knew what I was getting into when I started getting this classic car. It does suck though when you get something goes wrong. Gets you down. I don't want it to get me down, but it does. Even if I get it running. It's gone dark outside now, so I can't even try to fix that indicator problem because can't do much with a fat battery. I'm a bit sad. Yeah. Today's been a bit fun. Went into uni. It wasn't a very serious day. It's actually one of the more fun uni days I think we've ever had. We did a quiz. We did this big quiz thing. I was in a team with my tutor, which was funny, because everybody else got into groups and it was maximum groups of 3, so I just decided to go with Gary, because I'm not actually that good at quizzes about stuff. Came in second to last place. I didn't come in last by 1 point, so that was good. My team name was 12 Lords Olymping. It wasn't the worst name because somebody was called yeah. Funny. I mean, it's quite funny. So I'll play some clips of that and what happened today.
Can we all sing happy birthday to Tits? Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tits. Happy birthday to you.
You're allowed to drink.
Legit, you fucking got
if anybody goes. Oh, I know.
Tell me how you're feeling in this moment.
Please stop.
Okay, Hannah. Tell me how you're feeling in this moment.
Ecstatic.
Is that it? Cool, great, thanks.
Hi, Matthew.
Bye.
I'm trying to get her to say that.
Oh, she'll never say it. She'll never say it.
Ruined it.
Diet Coke and beer, a new mix.
Well, Shandy is just
Say hello.
lemonade and beer, isn't it?
Say hello. Why does no one want to say hello? Hello?
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Skinny Pin.
I actually
don't know.
He's an alcoholic.
You must be bad.
He's a meme alcoholic. He talks about
25 different
memes. And this is a real life princess.
Number 3.
And this is an egg. I'll go and give it back to the owner. Hi. I don't know how you turn it off, so it's still recording. There you
Why
go.
is it still recording?
I mean, we said to her.
Hey.
Be yourself. Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Do drugs.
I mean, I don't do all three of these, so I'm
Unless
alright.
it's helpful.
I do legal drugs. Let me just put it that way. I'm on
Wait.
medication.
I need to give better advice.
Go on.
Follow me on Twitter.
Go on, follow her on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle, Hannah?
Stream Epiphany.
What's your Twitter
Hashtag Kim Sok Jin.
Yes, that. My Twitter is
I will put.
Han the Turnip.
Here is her Twitter handle.
Or Sok Ginny if you like K-pop.
There you go. Both of them are on screen. Give her a follow, you better.
Hi.
Chloe, do you have anything to say?
Always ask for permission before you touch people. Oh, she.
Ooh, subtext.
Wait, ask Tom for a quote.
Tom. Give a moral.
I need a I have to censor that now.
He's the commoner.
Wait, he wasn't done.
Sometimes you have to wait for a tram that isn't coming.
Can you please put hashtag milk quotes?
I will do.
Yay. Good job.
Hey. Yeah, it was a pretty fun day. But really tiring, having to commute, getting up at 7, having to commute all the way to Media City, including that nasty 1.5 mile long walk. Is it 1.5 miles or is it just a mile? I can't remember. Anyway, and then I decided to give a hand to one of the students with carrying some equipment back. Yeah, no, me carrying equipment, novel. Once again, I am a cripple, but I'm not feeble. I am reasonably strong. I'm not strong, but, you know. This is a very unflattering camera angle, I realise. So I decided to walk all the way back to the tram. And then walk from the tram to my uni, then from my uni to the bus stop, and then by the time I got home, I was out of spoons and I just need to lie down. Running out of spoons for me happens. It still creeps up on me. It still creeps up on me. I only realise I'm out of spoons when I get home, and I'm just so tired. I physically can't do anything. I need to start working out more. I've put on weight, so I need to start working out more. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be working on a car. My dad's coming over to drop off a brand new car battery. So I need to get to the bottom of this indicator fault, as I can't drive the car on the road with a dodgy indicator. Get the car to run, that's important. I'm very tired. These things are a godsend at night, these little cups. These come from the cinema. They're the milkshake cups and they're bloody useful. That cold I was complaining about, I'm on the tail end of it now. Colds always hit me really hard and are really slow to get rid of. Always has been, ever since I was a kid. So, yeah. Unfortunately, my poor flatmate, bless her soul, has also just got that cold from me. And I feel very bad about that, because I've been desperately trying to not give it to her. And she flies back to Ireland in 2 days. So I'm actually going to be on my own most of the Christmas break, because I start my new job, so I've got to be here to work. do the job. That kind of sucks. I have got so many meals though. Sometimes the great perk of being an adult is meals, to be honest. I've got a meal with my classic car club, and then straight after that the family's going out for a meal. Great. For my sister's sake, which is really nice of her. That's next week, that's the 20th and the 21st. And then of course Christmas rolls around next week. Oh God. I've also got my relatives, my Auntie Kath and Uncle Harold coming over to visit. I found this one out today. My Auntie Kath is a truly lovely woman. But she's suffering from dementia. And she's very frail, unfortunately. She lives in Spain. She and my Uncle Harold retired out to Spain. And they've had a wonderful life out there. The medics in Spain are fantastic, but dementia is dementia. There was a time a few months ago we didn't think that she was going to make it, but she did. She pulled through, which is amazing. But it's progressing. I call her every single time about my parents. I can't call into Spain on my phone, it charges me a nightmare. And she always is happy to hear from us, but you know, sometimes when you see her face to face, it kind of kicks in and you kind of see. I also bumped into my neighbour the other day. One of my neighbours who I've known since I was very little, Mrs. Ferry. She has dementia too. She didn't recognise me in any way. She was very confused. Poor lady. She was always lovely to me and my sister. What a shame. I didn't want to go on a depressive rant. I'm not in a sad mood. I'm actually in a pretty good mood. Just wanted to talk about that. Anyway, let's bring on tomorrow, shall we? So today is Thursday. My father's coming round in a bit to help me with my car. So I thought I'd chase the electrical fault. What's gone on, this is going off what the Morris Manor Owners Club tell me, is that the earth on the left-hand indicator is bad. Bad earths happen a lot in classic cars. Basically the earth is, you need an earth to set the electrics, and a bad earth means that nothing can get through. For example, this is the earth screw. Nasty and corroded, so I don't actually have any sandpaper. I usually have emery paper, so I don't have any at the moment, so I'm just going to attack this with a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, scratch off all of the rust. I'll do the same to the strap, screw it back in, and fingers crossed I can get the indicator working again. Because the problem is, I can't call out the AA because, well, I can't take the car to a mechanic because I can't drive it, and there's no point calling out the AA because it's one of those fiddly awkward repairs that's just, you have to do it yourself. And yeah, I'm just going to have to sit here and scratch away all of this corrosion until I get back to bare metal on this screw. I don't have any emery paper, which makes life a bit more awkward. I need to buy some of that. I'm actually thinking about it. I should have some somewhere. Pretty sure I have some. But anyway, I'm just going to sit here by the window where there's lots of light. As you can see, my face is so washed out. And scratch this away until I can get back to bare metal on the whole thing. Then we're going to refit it and see if I can get the indicator to work. Fingers crossed. The car's working again. I'll show you in a mo. Basically, it was just the battery was messing with the electrics. There wasn't enough juice. That is an underlying symptom that there is something a bit janky. So I'm going to go through the electrical system when I've got time. But definitely all the work that I've done is good. New indicator bulbs, you know, that's a good thing. That is only a good thing. But yeah, we've got a brand new battery. It starts on the first crank, and it's brilliant. I'm going to go outside with this camera and I'm going to show you just how well this car starts compared to a modern car. Every modern car leaves at least 3 turns to start. Mine doesn't, so let's have a look. The sun's starting to set, which is good because I've now got the car working. Definitely in neutral. So if I put the ignition on, first off, hey, indicator's working. Much better. Now, this is impressive. Listen to how quickly this starts. Bet your modern Ford Fiesta won't do that. This is what I mean when I say my car starts better than a modern car. It will start on the key every time. It was just the old battery gave out on me. So that's now in the bin. Well, more specifically, it's been sent to a recycling place that recycles car batteries. I'll turn this off now. But I have now got a working Morris Minor. Thank God. Well, I just dropped me flatmate off at the airport. Car is running beautifully. Even she noticed how better it was running with the new battery, so I shouldn't have put off placing the battery. But yeah, she's off, and I'm alone now till January. Got the rest of December and January. I could just go home, but I've got work. I have a job now, so I have to stay here. Being on my own, I tend to go a bit mad. So I need to find a lot of things to do with my life. I am going home tomorrow though, and I'm seeing my friend Cameron. Of course, this is the last clip of the week, so you'll have to wait till next week to see that, if anyone's watching. Yeah. I don't do very well on my own. I'm a weirdo. I'm an introvert, but I don't like being in an empty household. Very weird. Yeah. Just waiting for my computer to do the billionth update. I'm just going to edit up this. Well, that's the end of this week. Honestly, okay week. Had a bit of a wobble in the middle there, didn't I? Yeah. Gets you down when your car doesn't work, but it's back to working again. Hooray! I'm going to have some fun editing this up, and I'm going to edit up a canal video. Yeah. Get back into doing things. Just uploaded the first vlog. We shall see how things go. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you all next time. Bye now.